You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Dads are in for disappointment this Father's Day. Thanks to Trump, based on an article by Brad Reed, Common Dreams. Father's Day inflation is not a mystery, it is policy. The cost has a name. A new Groundwork Collaborative analysis says Father's Day gifts are running nearly 19% higher on average than last year, with shavers, griddles, and barbecue tools all more expensive. The article ties that spike to Donald Trump's tariffs and to the wider inflationary pressure created by his trade war and war in Iran. That is the factual skeleton. The political story is the rest of it. Prices did not drift upward out of nowhere. Power made them move. Who is the power? The only actor in this piece with real institutional authority is the president. Trump set the tariff regime. Trump chose the trade escalation. Trump owns the consequences of policies his administration imposed on imports, steel, aluminum, and the supply chains that feed consumer goods. Their article does not describe a market accident. It describes executive decision-making. That distinction matters because inflation becomes propaganda the moment its causes are blurred into weather, mood, or vague global disorder. The decision was the damage. The report's logic is straightforward. Many shavers and trimmers are imported from China, and those products now carry multiple layers of tariffs. Braun raised its Series 9 trimmer by $50 after Trump's tariff announcement, then another $10. Grilling products rose too, which the report links not only to tariffs but also to the disruption around petrochemicals and plastics tied to the Iran conflict. That is not confusion. That is policy passing through the register. The government put friction into supply chains, and consumers are paying for the privilege. When the state makes consumer goods more expensive, the state is not managing inflation, it is manufacturing it. Who gets blamed and who should? The weak framing in stories like this is the habit of treating price spikes as an impersonal economic weather system. Here the article mostly avoids that dodge, but the larger media the pattern still matters. Workers absorb the cost, retailers relabel it, and elected officials pretend they are spectators. Dads are not being disappointed by fate. They are being charged more because a president chose to weaponize trade and then normalize the fallout. That is the missing moral arithmetic. The people with the least leverage pay first, while the people with the most leverage claim the system has simply become complicated. The evil pattern. This is what authoritarian economics looks like in miniature. A leader creates damage, then sells the damage as strength. Tariffs become performance. A reckless foreign policy becomes another layer of domestic cost. Inflation becomes a patriotic convenience instead of a measurable transfer of pain from the powerful to everyone else. The deeper pattern is institutional cowardice in advance of accountability. Businesses pass costs on. Economists describe the consequence. The political class debates the symptoms, but the decision remains where it began, at the top, in the hands of a president who can impose costs and then let other people explain them. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article, with the automated voice of Arctic. Thanks for listening.